Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's been in the news. I've been binge watching The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, and oh god, that's so damn funny. I'm starting on oh, what the hell is it? On season 1, and it is so damn good. And I'm getting seasons 3 and 4 in a matter of days, so I'm going to be binging like crazy. On that, because I have a lot of DVDs in my collection, especially vintage television, and of course I had Leave It to Beaver too, and got that several years ago. But anyway, yeah, Tony Dow passed away a few weeks after he announced he had cancer, and apparently he had a lot of health problems in recent years. And I also didn't know, according to this article, that he had mental issues and had undergone depression. Oh my god, for like 20 years. So it was real tough. He overcame that, and after his acting roles got fewer and fewer, he turned to sculpting and was pretty good at it. But he and his co-star Jerry Mathers, and I believe Mathers is the only major cast member still alive from the series. There might be one or two that played the friends, but I think of the major cast members, he's the only one left. But he and Jerry Mathers never appeared at Hot August Nights in Reno when I'd lived, and they've had that since about 1986. But Frank Bank, who played Lumpy, and Ken Osmond, who played Eddie Haskell, both of them made frequent appearances there, and I actually met them, and there was one time when Ken Osmond held the door open for my late sister and me, when we were at the Atlantis Resort. Or was it the Atlantis? Or no, it wasn't at the Atlantis. It was that damn other one. God damn it, I can't remember the name of it. But it was the other one. It wasn't the Atlantis. And now I'm going to be sitting here thinking about it was a pepper mill. That's the one where he appeared. Yeah, so he held the door open for us. He seemed like he was a pretty good guy. Not very tall. And no, not unctuous or anything like that. And of course, he was a retired police officer after he left acting. But anyway, so that was a little bit on my mind about Tony Dow and stuff. And he had a good part playing the older brother. And then I thought about, well, I was watching again, whatever the hell, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, and I was thinking back about the time that I had met Frank Bank and Ken Osmond from the other series. Rick Nelson's sons, who are both musicians, the twins, Gunnar and Matthew, they made an appearance doing his songs, their dad's old songs and stuff, and they called themselves Nelson, and I guess they still perform. But they were like 18 when their dad was killed in that plane crash, thanks to a faulty heater. And, you know, as we know, the pilot and co-pilot survived, but the rescuers couldn't get to Rick, his fiance, and some members of his band. It was just too hot. Just terrible. Oh, terrible tragedy. But anyway, the twin sons were only 18 when he died, and they just thought the world of their dad. They talked about him at that concert. He was called Pop, too, just like his dad and David Nelson, his brother, or their uncle, just like they called Ozzie Pop. You don't hear the word Pop used much to talk about somebody's father these days, but they did it. But they regarded him, the twins regarded their dad as their best friend, and they talked about how they grew up in Susanville, California, and stuff. And the twins at that time, I thought, my God, they looked so much like Ozzie. It was eerie. But anyway, that's kind of the nostalgia end of it for the first 4 minutes of this damn thing. And then, of course, we found out that the guy that admitted to raping the 10-year-old girl, and actually she was 9 years old, got her pregnant, and then she had the abortion just as she turned 10. shortly after she turned 10. He's pleaded not guilty. It's probably to get a plea deal. That's probably what that shit's about, because he already admitted doing it. And then, of course, old Matt Gaetz, he's under investigation, but he's going to pontificate and tell everybody that, well, you know, what women who support abortion rights need is a good lay, but they're too ugly and old and fat to get pregnant. Ah, God! Oh, you know, I mean, the longer I live, the stupider our elected officials are getting, and so hopefully this damn guy is going to end up. Oh God, he's awful. Hopefully he's pays a piper if he's guilty of setting aside the fact the crux of Gates' bit is basically reverse plagiarism of an actually funny person, George Carlin. I don't like George Carlin, never did. Never thought he was funny. Anyway, what does he say? Why is it that most of the people who are against abortion are people who you wouldn't want to fuck in the first place? What the hell's it got to do with... Well, abortion's all about fucking. I mean, it's a result of it. But it doesn't, you know, I mean, what's it got to do with anything? How you look. But, anyway. But even the anti-abortion nutters, one of them who perverts Susan B. Anthony's memory, says here, shame on Matt Gaetz for this hideous comment. As for comment, the congressman's spokesman simply told the Insider that Gaetz is proud to have an A+ rating from the Susan B. Anthony list. How revolting that these anti-abortion nutcases can take women's rights activists and turn them inside out and on their head and try to make them into something they never were. But anyway, that doesn't help him. Doesn't help his already shoddy reputation. And what I really wanted to kind of mention was this thing that states the obvious, that around half of older Americans can't afford essential expenses. And guess who that is? Guess who gets it? Guess who gets the shaft? More than half of older women who live alone are classified as poor under federal poverty standards. Well, we denigrate what women do for a living. Our lawmakers still think women are out spending all these years out of the labor force taking care of babies and elderly. And oh, they should be compensated. But those of us who worked our asses off our entire lives get less money than somebody who's traded sex for financial support and can get an ex-husband's part of his SS if she's been married 10 years or more, or if she's widowed. She can get more than a woman who's worked her whole goddamn life. You tell me how right that is. And I've talked about my situation. And I'm going to have to work until I drop dead. But it's not any surprise here. But quit pretending these are all widows who are older women. There's a hell of a lot of us who didn't sell away our dignity and our self-respect and remained single. But we're penalized for it. Hell yeah! We're penalized. And as I said in my case, not only did I have a bunch of my SS lopped off for Medicare, but I also have that WEP that I've talked about, to the tune of $120 a month. So I'm only about $730 a month. I took it early because I had to. And it wouldn't have made much difference if I hadn't. I might have been $100 ahead. And here our politicians talk about, well, let's give credits to those who are caregivers? No. We need more fucking money, those of us who actually worked. Don't ask us to foot the bill for people who are well off that they could take time out of the labor force to do whatever. That's only the wealthy who can do that. That's not people who are not wealthy. And I'm sick of that. I'm sick of the cluelessness. And here it is. No shower, cooker, or freezer. Thousands of older women face stark choices in apocalyptic cost crisis. Well, they should have stayed married. Their old man shouldn't have died. Why don't they go out and find another man? Go prostitute yourself and find another one. Because women are encouraged to do that. Except there aren't any men. It is lonely and isolating. Well, we're not necessarily lonely, actually. But we don't like to be told that we're throwaways because we're not fuckable anymore. Oh, here is this. And this is, and that's in England. This is England. And when was this written? 3 hours ago it came on the thing. So the same problem is happening in the UK. But in the United States, and what gets you is the federal poverty level is only like $12,000 a year. And I don't even get that. Between my Social Security and my Nevada pension, I don't even get that. I mean, I have to keep working till I die. I mean, I really want to retire from the school district, being that I probably can't get a teaching job, given my age, because it's obvious they do it. It's obvious that they discriminate. But I can't retire. I mean, I want to retire there, but then if I retire there, what's going to happen? Will I be able to get work somewhere else? That's the problem. But yeah, everything. And then there's not enough affordable housing. And quit talking about older couples. Quit talking about couples. Just stop talking about couples. There aren't that many couples. Especially if you're, past 75. They're not couples. They're single. The great majority of them are single. But they act like everybody's 1950s. They act like everybody's married. Everybody's got kids. Everybody blah, blah, blah. And that's not the way it is. I don't give a crap about couples. Why the hell? It's a single people that are get the shaft. Single women. And this, for a single American, is $12,880 a year. That's hardly anything. But that's what happens. This is what happens when you screw women over, underpaying them to begin with, and forcing them into marriage. This is what you get down the road. It kicks it down the road. When you denigrate what women do for pay, just so men get sexual access, this is what happens when the men die off, or there are no men in the picture because the women don't want to live that way. They're forced to go into poverty in old age. Or they work, like me, they work until they drop dead. So, that kind of got my craw. But our politicians are going to say, hey, we got to give more handouts to people that care give, that take time off, that are well off enough they can do it. No, more money needs to be given to people who actually worked and are given the goddamn shaft because they didn't prostitute themselves for a man in marriage. Holy fucking shit. That stuff pisses me off every damn time I see it. But anyway, yeah, lots of shit in the news. And I think that's going to be it for me.